I started a part two, y'all, of this Valentine's Day video. And so I was ending in the last video basically saying you just can't revive any type of friendship or anything with anyone that's narcissistic because of the fact you already had sex with them. So because you already had sex with them, y'all, that relationship is destroyed. Now, for example, this particular narcissistic man, for someone, and I'm just going to throw out an example because you never know how people's interactions are with other people. For someone that never had sex with him, he may make them feel like he'll come get them whether they're stranded or not. He may act more genuine, at least for a while. But that's why it's over. Any narcissistic person that you've ever had sex with, there's no friendship bond going forward. So, them texting you, I don't block people in general. I have my reasons why I just don't do it. Um, a lot of people, the person that harmed or killed them, they would have found them if they wasn't blocked. You know, you got your murderer blocked. So guess what? When the police pull up your phone records, they ain't in there. Stuff like that, y'all. You know, back in the day, there was no block button. There was no cell phone. What did you do then? So that's why I don't block people. Do things the more traditional way. When I'm seeing a message, you're not blocked. I'm not replying to it because I'm strong enough not to reply. So that's the reason your relationship can't be revived with the narcissist because a narcissist has a one track mind. They cannot see, they don't really even care, even if they do see the value in you. Even if they say, you know, this is a fun person to go out with, they're going to have some hang up that makes them still your enemy. Well, I'm not paying for you to go out to eat. Narcissistic people, some of them will use the excuse everything's so expensive. It's just like crumbs. Crumbs you sweep up off the floor and you get crumbs off your floor. You don't pick crumbs up off the floor and try to hang out with it on Valentine's Day. And just remember, when I see this text from this narcissist or this narcissistic man, I think back to what it once was. This is the best this man can do. Happy Valentine's Day. That's it. Just such a dry text. But when you first meet the narcissist, they dancing to James Brown, they smiling. I can't even get this demonic man to smile. It wasn't never in him to smile. I still smile because that's my genuine nature. This ain't this narcissist's genuine nature. They're naturally mean, y'all. Narcissistic men, they done beat women's asses, called them all kind of B words. Now, this narcissistic man wasn't doing this stuff to me, but he wasn't in a position to do it. This is my house. He know his consequences. He can try to beat my ass in my house, but it's consequences. Not saying I would do it, but that's why you got the police. Okay. And so, but you got to remember this too. Even if a narcissistic man or woman is not hitting you, especially a man, because a woman usually can't win that fight, right? Not just a fair fight with a man. I'm not winning that fight. They want to hit you. You interacting. This man that's sending me this text, this Negro would love to beat the fucking brakes off me. He would love to beat my fucking ass. I do know that. Okay, so all of these elements, when you know these things, there just will come a time when you will be in complete no contact. You got to understand this is how they think. This is why he's like this text. Good morning, Marie. Happy Valentine's Day. He's not going to say much more than that. Because this Negro, if he could beat my ass and get away with it like he did the rest of them, he would do it. But this is why you got to stop marrying people, letting them move in, sitting up in their house too long, going around them all the time, knowing they got weapons, knowing they got mental illness, knowing they don't love you. And see, this narcissistic man, I can see the karma in it. He won't see it. I went through much more than this man probably has gone through just over the last 6 years. And I'm in a happier state than this man. And I'm not addicted to anything. I don't hate the man. I just know it just can't be revived. And like I said, one reason it can't be revived is when you've had sex with a narcissistic man or woman and you don't do it anymore, they will not see any other value in your relationship. They cannot see or provide any other value. You just can't revive it, and you shouldn't be trying to revive it. This is Valentine's Day. Like I said in part 1, you got to make the last memory. I want my last memory that particular day when that narcissist told me he would only help me if I was stranded. I had 2 gentlemen that just couldn't wait to help me. They weren't my men, but they were men. Excuse me, y'all. My asthma's acting up. You just gotta start. You want that in your conscious mind. You gotta wipe out the roller coaster memories, because respect that the narcissistic people are being honest with you, and it's just time to move on. Why you want a friend in your life that talks to you like that? I would only help you if you were stranded. That's not even a good friend. That's not even a good natured person. And then another reason for me, I'm cutting the contact because I don't want to say nothing else. I done already told the man certain things because I do believe I was some of his karma. He's did women pretty dirty. And a lot of stuff I probably said to him, ain't nobody said to him. Not in the way I said it. Because we're each individuals, right? We're each individuals. And then narcissistic people, they never feel real remorse. You know, like I was having a conversation with this man. He was bragging about some chick he stumped out back in the day and saying, yeah, she liked it. Yeah, she must have liked it. I said what I had to say and was done with it. What I said was pretty bad. I apologize for it. But that asshole deserved it. She didn't like it. And I said, he always made it seem like throughout the years he felt bad about it. If the man don't feel bad about somebody he knocked down and kicked while they was on the ground, he don't feel bad about anything he did to you. And what narcissistic people do, they kicking you too, but they're doing it emotionally. Yeah, he's not physically hitting me. I'm not living in his home. He's not living in mine. But he's kicking me on the ground too. He just ain't doing it with his feet. He's doing it through the psychological games that he plays. And there's no karma if you still just sitting up socializing with the people. I just was done. I don't have these kind of people in my life. And then another reason, it's time to just let them go on this Valentine's Day and all Valentine's Day, is because people won't respect somebody that allows them to talk to them that way and you still talk to them. They think something wrong with you. Take them out to dinner, give them a gift, take them somewhere they sick, tell them you love them, and never speak to them again. That's basically it. Or just ghost them completely. End it with class. I mean, it's just no need of ending it any other way. Um Keep their nasty dicks from between your legs. Stop putting your dick in her. Narcissistic men and women, they ain't just fucking y'all. I promise to God. They just not. You gotta come to. That's why the narcissistic man, he calls me a square. He says I'm not a worldly woman. But I can't call him a square. I can't call him not worldly. Because when I'm not around, that man is trying to fuck. Even if he ain't trying to fuck, he's watching porn. You don't need that. That's why narcissistic people, the men and the women, they have, the ladies and gentlemen, they have such a low sex drive because they watching pornography. I don't want no man that's sitting up watching another man's dick go in another woman. That's gay to me. At the end of the day, you looking at another man's dick go in a woman. That's gay. That's gay shit. It just is. So, Valentine's Day is just another day, and I'm fine with it. I turned down one particular man that could be a potential narcissist. I don't need that in my life. That particular man, he's over infatuated with celebrities. Like, you're not gonna get anywhere with these people. This particular narcissistic man that's messaging me with the text message, he's addicted to watching murder cases, the ID channel every day. I mean, they're dead, y'all. They already are just dead spirits. And you don't need it. When you don't have a real relationship anymore that cannot be revived with a narcissistic man, if I reply to this, it's showing them that I'm desperate, I'm hard up, I'm needy. I'm saying a lot by replying to this dry ass text. This is the way relationships end with narcissistic people. They end up very low when it ends, a dry ass text, but it begins too fast, too charming, too close. And it's not genuine. That's why it doesn't last. I couldn't pay this man to dance to Jane Brown's right now. All he does is walk around and talk about how old he is now. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Why the hell do you date people that ain't your damn age then? If you that damn old. Bullshit. But the day I met him, he act like he my age or younger. All the acting that they do. Narcissistic people are actors. I'm the same as what I was when I met him as far as my energy level for love. I just don't have anything to work with. You can't be in love with yourself. If I found the right dude that I was compatible with or man, that genuine love and energy and wanting to have sex and wanting to be around them, it'll all come back. I'm just not with the right man. This is not the right man. There are empathetic men out there that do know how to love, that would love, that would never talk to you like this, even if you divorced them. So you just got to move on. And for the men, you got to move on too. You don't need no hoe in your life. She tossing up the pussy everywhere but your way. If you a man, she don't want you. If a woman, I'm going to tell you something about a woman for men. Just give you a piece of advice. A woman can have a short-term affair. Okay, if y'all break it off, say she date another man 4 to 8 months, somewhere on that level, and you get back with her right away, it can almost be like that man did not exist. Okay, but you got to get back with her soon. But once you've been out of a woman's life and she has been with another man more than a year and you have not slept with that woman in a very, very long time, it'll never be the same and she's over you. It's the dick issue, right? So, like, okay, for example, this narcissistic man, the reason he's texting me is he still sees some value because I haven't been with another man. Okay, so he would be smart enough. If I had been with another man, okay, he would stop texting. But because of the way the universe works and the energy, I have not slept with another man yet. I won't have to tell him when I've slept with another man. He just won't text anymore. But I haven't crossed that bridge yet. Because I don't want nothing like this ever to come in my life. Ever. I learned my lesson. I did the best I could to be celibate and to deal with this man as less as possible. I even went so far to, over the last 5 years, when I moved into this new place, I never invited him here. I did everything I could. I stayed prayed up. I minimized and I did everything I could so that I could remain in a celibate situation. And doing it worked for me to the best of my ability. And it also prevented me from getting ensnared by another narcissist. So in turn, it probably was a blessing in disguise. But 2024, this is what you got to promise yourself. Anybody that's talking shit to you that you don't like, get them out of your life and out of your phone and out of your face, out of your presence. You got to develop a, how do I allow people to speak to me standard? And see, a lot of times, because these narcissistic people aren't cussing you out, and because you're empathetic, because he didn't say, bitch, you got to be damn near dead before I pick you up. You know, when he said, I would only pick you up if you were stranded. So because for a lot of y'all, because the narcissistic man doesn't say it that way, he's not cussing, he's not using profanity, you overlook the wickedness in what this demon is saying to you. They're not always going to say they don't give a fuck if you're dead or alive. They're saying it when they say this. So 2024, the way somebody talks to me game, that's getting ready to be top of the mountain for me. I didn't like it. I don't like the way this man has treated me throughout the years. I don't like this man's nature. I don't like this man no more. He don't like me and I don't like him. And it's a wrap. It's done. I will not tolerate it. I do not deserve it. This narcissistic man can take his miserable ass on to the next victim. Whatever you do and speak to somebody else in their life, that's what's coming back on your ancestors or your future relatives. This is why family members have such bad luck. It's the shit that they grandpas and they great uncles and aunts and grandmothers did to people too. Like my grandmother, she did a lot of good. She was a giver. She helped a lot of people financially too. And sometimes I just have such good luck, good financial luck too. I'm not financially rich, but I have good luck. A lot of that comes straight from my grandmother, the type of heart she had. So, narcissistic people, see, when you sit up and you talk to somebody like that, saying, you would only help them if they stranded. What they don't realize is that same type of shit come back to their grandkids and their nieces and nephews. This narcissistic man will be dead in a grave while one of his relatives is out there on the corner begging for food. Okay, see, like the Somalian brother had in his yellow cab, be kind, because God knows everything. And what's really dangerous about narcissistic men and women, they don't have no remorse for what they do. They don't feel any guilt, sadness. That man probably ain't even thought twice about saying that. That's why he texting me. He doesn't see that what he's saying to me is a problem. And that's because over a long period of years, I've kept some form of communication. Even though we weren't really, like really fully committed in the way that I would be with a man that loved me. There's no commitment with a man or woman that don't love you. In 2024, and this is a reason. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I love y'all so much. This is a reason why you want to stop these kind of communications with these narcissistic people. Your business life. The Lord may want to send you a business, empathetic professionals around your business world. You got to get back into your professional life too. And narcissistic people, they're not representing that. They're not teaching that. See, because in your professional life, especially when you're dealing with customers, y'all. So say you in a business with sales and there's a contractor. You got to tell that contractor, oh, I got you. The truck coming. We're going to have it picked up for you by 10 o'clock. Don't worry. You're not going to be stranded in my business. See, those business skills, you want to get that back top notch. Because the Lord got some financial blessings for you. So you can't be 2024, this Valentine's Day and going forward, you cannot be having these narcissistic men and women in your life because they do not represent customer service and they do not represent the business world that you're going towards. The Lord may want to bring y'all into politics, y'all. You just don't know what career is going to be designed and be put in your life. You just don't never know who you're going to be advocating for. So you just can't have it around you. See, I'm bringing this to your point, to you, okay, to y'all, because you thinking, well, I should go no contact because it's a bad toxic relationship. It's a roller coaster relationship with a narcissistic person. It's an unstable relationship. And all the other YouTubers, that's what they're going to tell you on why to get rid of the narcissist, right? But it's so many other reasons to get rid of them. I just named one big one. Your professional life is in jeopardy. It changes who you are professionally in the long run. And some of y'all, I told y'all I got asthma, so I'm sorry. Don't focus on the cough. Focus on the information. I'm fine. And I'm doing it without inhalers, y'all. I don't pump all them inhalers like I used to. I just let it stretch out, y'all. So I feel good about my decision. I'm not going to text somebody back that just talked to me like that. And this is why. I'm going to tell you why it's time for me to do this narcissistic man like this. I don't put up with it with nobody else. That's another thing too. That's so unfair. What we do with narcissistic people that we have situationships with, up and down roller coaster relationships, unstable relationships, dead end relationships, unloving relationships, unromantic relationships. We show too much favoritism. It's so unfair. I wouldn't text any other man and respond to any other man that had told me he would only help me if I was stranded. I wouldn't allow any other man to get away with this. And this is where you get mistreated, because narcissistic people also understand that you're showing favoritism. And they will take advantage of that. This narcissistic man knows that I'm favoring him. And it's because of the love I had for him. But he don't love me though. This ain't love. This narcissistic man is incapable of loving, truly loving me, his children, his friends, and most of all, the Lord. He's incapable. And he told me he know he going to hell, y'all. I loved him so much, I kept talking to him even after he said that. Don't talk to no damn body that tell you they know they going to freaking hell. There's nobody else I would have talked to that could have said some shit like that to me. But I had so much favoritism. And it's not right. That's biasness. That's being biased. It's like a racist being at a job and a racist allows all the white people to be tardy 4 or 5 times a month and be okay with it. But then when the black employees or races that are not white or late 4 or 5 times a month, they get fired without even a write-up. It's not right. And that's something that I will admit to doing. Most of this shit that this narcissistic man has done from the day he met me, I would not have allowed any other man to get away with this shit. Some of this shit this man has done, I wouldn't even allow my own son to do this shit. And so I'm going to ask the Lord for forgiveness for using profanity and showing favoritism. You're showing favoritism over a demon. This is a fucking demon, y'all. These narcissistic men and women, they're demons. And they're going to bring the worst out of you. But they karma too. Sometimes they put you, the Lord has put you in their life for you to tell them what everybody else scared to tell them. And you told them, move on. They know what they are. But I have to treat this man just like I would anybody else. Any other man, if they had did one thing to me, I would have been done with the crap. So favoritism is not fair. It's not righteous. And you're putting yourself in an abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, verbally abusive situation when you show a narcissist that you are going to let them get away with things and favor them. And never do it again. That's something I'll never do. You got to stop making exceptions for narcissists, because that is what keeps you ensnared so long, is showing the favoritism for somebody that is not going to show favoritism for you. When that narcissistic man told me he would only help me if I was stranded, there's no favoritism that he's having. He's not saying because this beautiful woman cared so much about me. He's not telling me, yeah, I got your back no matter what. There's no favoritism. See, narcissistic people, they're not favoring you. It's just one-sided. And like I said in part 1, you just can't revive it. There's nothing you're going to revive. It's actually going to get worse. On and off relationships, y'all. I was watching a video. The Bradley sisters, okay? They were two sisters that disappeared years ago. I think the baby was like 3. And the oldest daughter that disappeared, she wasn't the oldest per se. They were the two youngest. I think she was about 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And one of the things that they mentioned in that video was that the baby daddy, which was the 3-year-old dad, the Bradley sisters came up missing out of this apartment. The mom was at work. The youngest baby daddy, the 3-year-old dad, was named George. And that Negro killed those children or kidnapped those children. He just did. The 10-year-old, I think her name is Tiandra, something like that. Please forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. She left a voicemail message for her mom saying George was at the door. There was also another George that lived in the building, but they referred to that George by a nickname. So this was her little sister's dad. So obviously she let him in. Kids break rules, especially 10-year-olds. You tell them don't let somebody in. So I'm bringing this story up to say this. This stuck in my mind when they said that the mom, the girl's mother, was in an on and off relationship with the baby daddy, George. But they were in an on and off relationship, but she still had him taking her to work, taking her kids back home. He was like the transportation guy. And it kind of made me think about my narcissistic guy that I was dealing with, that I'm talking about. The on and off thing. That's your enemy. Anybody that you have had sex with, whether you have kids with them or not, and you're in an on and off relationship, situationships and roller coaster relationships, you are riding around with the devil. That individual is always pissed off at you. No matter how they act, and no matter how they put on a facade, and half the time, they not even putting on a facade no more. That narcissistic man that's texting me for Valentine's Day, another reason it's better for him not to call me, because when he calls me, I'm going to hear the anger. Even when he tries to play it off, it's an anger there. They're not happy with you. And that's how your kids get snatched up and raped and killed. And I watch a lot of cases where these stepdads, these emotional and physical abusers, these women Black women especially, I've noticed in some of these cases that when these stepdads do things to their children, one of the common denominators is the mom is in an on and off relationship with this demon. And he's just breeding fury. His fury and anger is getting worse and worse. So consider that being a reason you go full no contact, so that you don't have an enemy around you that really deep in their soul hates you and your children. And nowadays, these demonic men, they're killing the women and the kids because they're not happy with the mom. So look at the case of the Bradley sisters. I watched a YouTuber, the sister, the Missing Found podcast. She doesn't call the video the Bradley sisters, but it's between. She starts out naming it a number 1 through 15. Two sisters go missing. Tiandra, I'm not sure what she named it. Let me look here, y'all. I'm gonna look it up for you. I'm sorry, my asthma's acting up. Let me see. It's anywhere from number 1 through 15 of her videos, because she names it number 1 and she puts the space in between there. Or like kind of like an apostrophe or whatever. Let me see. The Missing Found. Okay, podcast. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go. The Missing Found podcast. Diamond and Tianda Bradley. Yep, it's I'll post this video in the description box so you can watch it. But it's The Missing Found. It's part 3. Let me see. Part 3 through 15. I guess it's more than one. Let me see. It says the 20-year lie that changes everything. Okay, so it's not that one. Okay, so start out with number 15. Okay, so I'm going to post 2 videos. It'll be the Missing Found podcast. It'll say 15. And then it'll say Diamond and Tianda Bradley, a 2-decade-long summer. But I haven't watched the other one with the part 2 through 15, the Forgotten Detail. So I guess there's more than one. And then it says the 20-year lie that changes everything. So I'm actually going to go in and watch these other videos because I didn't realize those were there. So the whole point is this. This is the point I'm making here. When you're in roller coaster situations, like with Tianda and Diamond, the stepdad to Tianda and the biological dad of Diamond, and I'm almost for sure he killed those kids. I mean, he was buying gloves and he claimed the gloves and all of that was to redo his house. Tianda left the voicemail that George was at the door. That's her, pretty much the stepdad. That was her little sister's dad. So I'm going to watch more of these videos to see what it is. But when you're in on and off relationships, you may think this man or woman won't hurt your kids, but it's not safe. And it's been definitely a pattern that I've noticed when I watch crime cases, especially dealing with black males. I've never dated a white man, so if you're a white woman, you know more of what they do. I'm just talking about what I see with black males in some of these crime cases, and a lot of them, you sleeping with the enemy, and he's building up hatred for not just you, your children too, whether it be his own child or not. But it's especially dangerous when it's stepkids, because your kids love you, right? So this is something that the narcissistic man or the narcissist man, black man, he does not have that true ability to love you. So he may become very jealous and envious that your children do love you, because for one, they're not his kids. And in this case, Tianda and Diamond's, if he killed these girls, if George killed these girls with the Bradley sisters, because that was their mom's last name, and I think one of the girls' last name, they called them the Bradley sisters. So if he murdered these kids, keep this in mind, one of them, Diamond, which was the 3-year-old, was biologically connected to him. So if he murdered these children, he murdered his own too. Because you're hanging around the enemy, sleeping with the enemy. And that's just a clear red flag. You can't keep straddling the fence. If you're not going to be with the man or woman, don't bring them in the house. Stop going to their house. You're not with the person anymore. No contact is safer. At some point, no contact is safer. Not responding to their texts. This man don't love me. It's not real love. Like I said earlier, you got to remember, the narcissistic man or woman, they ain't truly loving nobody right. Not you. Also pay attention to how people treat their own flesh and blood. A lot of narcissistic people, they have very little interest for their own flesh and blood. They'll watch a basketball game every day before they go around their nieces and nephews and grandkids. Their priorities are all wrong, y'all. It's just all wrong. And it just don't mean you no good. There's really not much that you're going to continue to get out of this. And I'm going to end this video with just a few things that I suggest that you change in 2024 going forward. Don't play no games. When people talk to you crazy, and talking to you crazy don't mean they got to be cussing at you. But this is a new year. You don't have to go through another year with a narcissist. So when they saying they wouldn't pick you up, they would only pick you up if you were stranded, be done. Start treating that narcissist just like you do everybody else. There is nobody else that could talk to me that way and I respond to their text and phone. So that's the page I'm on. I'm treating this narcissist just like I would everybody else. Because this is why you got to do it that way too, y'all. If you're treating the narcissist different than you are everybody else, the narcissist does not truly know the real you. You can tell the narcissist, you know, I don't let other people get away with this. I've told this particular narcissist this. I would never let other people get away with this. I just wouldn't. But if you're not putting the standard down completely, if I know in my heart anybody else that talked to me like this, I would be in a full-blown no contact and wouldn't be speaking to him. I got to treat this narcissist the same way. Because if I don't, he don't truly know who I am. So what you got to stop doing, and me too, is being somebody else to the narcissist. Because that's all the narcissists do. They fake like they're somebody else. The first day you meet him, he faking like he James Brown. He faking like he smile all the time. He faking like he happy. He faking like he wear that damn suit every day. He faking like he like going out. He faking and acting all this shit, and that's what you're doing and I'm doing when we treat this narcissist with favoritism. Because this ain't how I really treat other men that's around me. Everybody knows that about me. Actually, a couple of my friends was surprised that I was tolerating his shit. Okay, so you gotta be your real self too. And then with me, I'm the kind of person I chose to give this person chances. But these type of chances I only normally give to blood relatives or maybe people I grew up with. This narcissistic man, he's not a blood relative and I did not grow up with him. And I gave him these chances. So it's over, y'all. 2024. I gave you enough reasons. This is part 2. Go to part 1. I can also put part 1 in the description box. And it's just done with, y'all. I love y'all so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Listen to this music. It's ancient, y'all. It's ancient. Let this crap go. It's a prehistory glitch, y'all. It's a wrap. It's done. What you need it for? 2024. Thank you, Lord, for 2024 and all the knowledge that I gained, even from the narcissist. Ain't it beautiful? You got knowledge out of it. You can help somebody else. So let's move on.